All right, it's 5 o'clock. I will call the Wednesday, December 4th Board of Selectmen meeting to order. This is a rescheduled date from Monday due to weather. So first I'll start with the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. First up, we have public comment. Is there any public comment? I don't see Mr. Brown here tonight, so not looking like I have any. I'll close that. New business, we only have a couple items. Going to just rearrange this and do the LCHIP stewardship agreement first because I think it's going to be fairly quick. So Betsy.
So I put in your folders copies of the stewardship agreement, and Ernie has the original. Back in 2016, this selectman had signed an agreement. This is an updated agreement that includes the latest grant for the work that was just finished this fall. And so basically I need to have you sign it and then get it off to be recorded on our tax.
All right. Ernie, everything all set with it?
It is.
Your end. Any questions or concerns from the board?
Nope.
I'll make a motion that we sign the LCHIP agreement amendment.
And it also has to be,
Notarized.
okay. You do everything.
And it looks like there's one
yeah,
signature
it's one signature.
spot, so
Make a motion that the chairman goes ahead and signs it.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
And then Ernie, do you want me to send it off to, have it recorded, or you do that? I don't.
What's your
Or
preference?
have Danielle do it?
We can do it if you prefer, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make sure you get a copy.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Betsy, actually, I have a quick question, if you don't mind. Did we get that last payment, that was,
We have not. I sent, so in addition to the stewardship agreement, I now have to write a stewardship report every year.
Yeah.
And I wrote one this year, and when I sent it off, I asked where the two final payments are. And so I should be hearing soon.
okay, I was just curious.
We saw the director back in September. He reviewed what work was done,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Oh yeah, the check's in the mail," and so we're
Okay.
still waiting.
All right, no worries, just,
No, I will let Ernie know as soon as I get it.
okay. That's great. Thank you.
And then with that stewardship report, we should be getting a tiny sum out of that too.
Okay. Thanks, Betsy.
All right, thank you. Okay, next up, U.S. Census Bureau presentation. Richard?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for having me in, and I'm sorry about the weather the other day, but it looks like we got a little bit of snow up here, so not too much. We had, I live in the southern part of Rockingham County. We had a good 14 inches, so thank you for being here tonight. Anyway, Richard Penn is my name, call me Rick. I'm with the U.S. Census Bureau. I'm a partnership specialist for the Bureau, the largest statistical agency in the U.S. Now, this information is in that pamphlet. That blue pamphlet is on the right-hand side on the back, if you'd like to follow along and keep those copies if you'd like. Again, we're the largest statistical agency. We carry on the decennial census every 10 years, which we'll be doing next year in 2020. But there's also about 4 or 5 surveys going on just about all the time, of which there's about 130. So we do quite a bit of statistical data, collecting information, demographics, economics, business, you name it. It's probably a survey that the census does. A lot of people depend on that information. And right now, we're trying to get the people to have survey awareness. That's part of my job, to go around and see people, let them know that the 2020 is going to be arriving, and the fact that we have to have everybody counted, the fact that we want to count everybody just once in their right place to get a total and accurate, complete count. Now, right now, the address canvassing has ended. That was in October. They went around to check all the addresses to make sure homes that were new were in the count, ones that were missing or taken away from 2010 were taken away. And the most important piece on this slide is the fraud number. So if you suspect anybody of any kind of census fraud, we all have IDs, we all have special passwords that we use, and we collect no money. So if somebody's trying to sell you statistical data, we can provide it free. So no money should exchange hands, and if you expect any fraud, that's the number right there. 800-923-8282. Oh, by the way, I have to collect $20 from everybody. I guess not, I'm just teasing, so.
Get it from Danielle.
We count everybody once, only once in their right place. The diverse growing population really kind of makes it, it's not a big job, it's only 330 million people. The forefathers decided in Article 1 of the Constitution a number of years ago to put it right up front, and this will be the 23rd census that started in 1790. Our presentation is in really 4 parts. To show that it's safe and easy is part of it, but why? Well, it's important. There's $675 billion that will be allocated to all the states, cities, towns, right down to the local level. And that's school programs, that's lunch programs, sports, after school, roads, bridges. That's where the anybody that depends on any kind of funding, that's where it comes from. And the more accurate the count, the more fair the funding. Now, people have asked, why don't you just take the voting records of a town? Well, that may be there, but the town population may be there. Under 18 that don't vote, people that are unable to or refuse to vote, they have to be counted as well. And we count everybody. Nursing homes, hospitals, places that have groups living there. They even count people in jail, in prisons. And it's a pretty good idea that they're going to know how many people are in there. And if they don't, there's something wrong somewhere along the way. And we have to keep it safe. We have to sign a pledge. We have to make sure that we do an oath, we have an ID and everything. And if we don't, we give this information away, we could be subject to a $250,000 fine and/or 5 years in jail, which I can afford neither. But we have to keep the information secret. The survey will ask nothing about Social Security numbers. No, they may use the last 4, but that's all. Nothing in bank records, nothing collecting donations, nothing political, anything like that. People have asked about these citizenship questions, that will not be on there. They will have information on your heritage. A lot of people are proud of if you're Italian or if you're Russian or something like that. That will be on there for just for demographic information. So we're sworn to protect the confidentiality, and that's for life, by the way. Once we leave the Census Bureau, and this is my 4th tenure, we have to protect that information. So we are making sure we do that. Let's say information is secure. We use the latest cyber information to keep it safe. My particular computer, I have 4 passwords that I have to pass through to get into my database, all 15 characters or more, and it goes away in about 2.5 minutes if I'm not sitting right there and working on it. So we use the best possible cybersecurity. The IT people are very, very, very intelligent. A lot of folks have tried to take it away, lawsuits, things like that. That's never worked. We've never get on any data that we receive. It's easy. There are 4 ways to respond. The most modern ones they put in now are by telephone and by computer. That was never in there before, so people can call up on the phone. When they receive the information, you can enter it on their computer. The senior citizen centers and the libraries really are very, very helpful because they can go in and show them where to go in. They'll escort you to the computer and show you where to go, but you do have to answer your own questions. So that's very important. They never, again, ask for a social security number, money, donations, political, credit card, account information, anything like that. That will not be on there. And we have many different languages in the country. Just in the city of Manchester, there's over 100 languages and dialects. So we have 59 languages that are available to the general public, of which the most common are those 12 right there. And I defy you to look in that colored circle there and tell me which one is which. But there's a lot of folks. I went to training in New York. I had a Korean gentleman, Chinese Cantonese, Chinese Mandarin, Russian, and somebody spoke Portuguese, so I got the whole national, the whole League of Nations with me, so to learn. And if you know anybody that's bilingual, that's very, very helpful. That they can go out and talk to people. Spanish, of course. So there, again, there is a lot of language support. And there's the list of the others on the bottom of that page. Now, we invite everyone to respond, and we do have a kind of a timeline. Next March, you'll receive the information, and you'll be given the option of a paper ballot, or the computer, or the phone. And if you're unable to do that, that's when somebody will come knocking on the door sometime after that. So a reminder letter will go out in March. If you've not responded yet, there'll be a postcard. Census Day is officially April 1st, April Fool's Day, which I thought was a good choice. And a final reminder towards the end of April, and after that point, that's when the door people will come. We call them enumerators, and they'll be the ones to get that information. So there are 4 different ways that you can respond. Once you do, your commitment is over. You send it back immediately as soon as you receive it. There'll be a form if we're a head of household, and everybody in the house will be part of that. I believe I'm not sure. I haven't seen the new one yet. They could be up to 10 people on one form in the household. So. And again, it's safe, it's easy. We want you folks to be the trusted voice. People know you, they deal with you on often basis, quite often, and we depend on you folks to spread the word. And again, it comes down to the money. That's really the important thing. Let them know how safe it is, how secure it is. That's really number 2. And we're promoting the census right now. They're hiring. They want to hire 13,000 people in New Hampshire. I think it's just over 9,000 now. So they're looking for a lot of folks. It's a good job. It pays $17.50 an hour and up, and mileage, 58 cents a mile. So I made a whole $1.50 coming over probably. But seriously, they do mileage. And again, that slide says 13,000, but again, it's down to just over 9 as of last count. So some of the positions of the enumerators, those are the people that knock on the door. Field supervisors, recruiting assistants, operations supervisors, data processors. And once you put your form in, or put your request in, you're in the system. You don't have to keep going into it for different jobs. Your application will cover everything. Some of the milestones we've been already hitting, we've already done some of the ones this year. We're starting statistics in school. It's called SIS. The advertising campaign will begin in January. We'll have group quarters coming out as well. Those are the ones that mention again that where people live. If you have a home here in New Hampshire and you're a snowbird, you live in Florida, you have a student that's in college somewhere, it's where you are on April 1st. That's the person that will be counted. This is a very unique situation because this is the first time in 20 years we've had a political campaign going on with the census. But by the end of February, a lot of those folks will be gone, so by April 1st, they'll be elsewhere to be counted as to where they are. So, and then Census Day, April 1st, census people will be going door to door, mid-May, somewhere in that neighborhood, to the end of the summer. And we have to have all the information together, counted, put together in a nice clean package, and present it to the office of the president, and they take it from there. The first quarter of 2021, at the end of March, that's when the money will be distributed, and the congressional districts will be laid, which is another resource from the census. They also do have voting rights, voting precincts rather. So there's quite a bit that the information goes to. It's spread around quite a bit. Again, it's just statistical data. It's not the personal information about who it is or what they earn or anything like that. Just total statistics. So now we're going to ask you folks to become members of a complete count committee. Now, the census and the government always have very unique names for these things. It's just a group of people getting together and talking about the census. You can put as little time into it as you feel is necessary. You can put as much time into it. A complete count committee is a group of people that get together and talk about the census and motivate the community members to respond. And again, the higher the response rate, the better the funding. Who can be on it? Anybody. We just had one over in Rochester. There were 75 people in the town of city of Rochester on that complete count committee. School principals, media people, students, teachers. There could be more than one. You can serve on more than one. There could be a fire department, police department, EMT, the city, folks next door over here. Could be anybody. You get started, you appoint a chair. A lot of the towns will have people like in the planning board, the planning commission be in charge, so they can share the duties. That happens in my town. So anybody can be the liaison, be in charge of it, so that's fine. But the idea is to get the word out and to spread the word. Right now, we're going through the education phase into the awareness phase. It will be that storm of political campaign type of data. You'll see billboards, newspapers, radio, TV, talking about the census. And it's quite important. And once it's all over, the results will be there, and hopefully the funding and everything will be where it should be. The reminder phase will be May through July, and a thank you phase right after that. Now, we support the partners and the committees by giving you promotional material. Anything that you can use on your website, town letters, town newsletters, you can supply that. Logos, drop-in news items, fillers, we can give you anything that you need. Graphics. And you folks probably know more so what's going to fit on your website than I would, and you can go on that website right there, Partners 2020-materials, and get that, what you need. You can download it, use it freely, no problem. And right now, you can share the job recruiting information. That's number 3, the jobs. So we're looking for people to fill those positions. So it's easy, it's safe. Becoming a partner is quite easy. There, you're a partner. It's that easy. And the 4th thing, finally, is this response outreach area mapper. It's called ROAM, which is the next slide. And on it, you can go anywhere in the country on any kind of computer. It's not private, it's totally open to the public, and check out demographic information just about anywhere. I checked out where I went to school and see how my people in Indiana where I went to school are doing. And once the census starts, ROAM will be updated daily in real time, so you can see how your response rate is doing in your area, how people are coming into it. And if all of a sudden there's somebody over in Union that's being stubborn, you can kind of go over and talk to them. And we've chosen Manchester as part of the graphics there, just to show you what some of the data that's on there. Population, below poverty, different demographics, different cultures, and there's quite a bit on there about housing units, population, ages. So you can go on. And this is very helpful for people who want to start a business, for example. If they want to get a hair salon somewhere, they can look and see what's going on in the area. Probably not a good thing to start an American Indian Council in Coas County, because there probably aren't too many there. So it gives you a good way to go in and see who's where and what they're doing by the numbers. And the data dissemination, again, is free resources for you folks. You may use it, you may spread it around, give it to anybody that's asking. If you need any information, my card is in the folder there with my name and phone number and email. By the way, those cards are temporary. I was supposed to get my brand new census ones this week. I ran out of the first batch that they gave me, but the information is correct, although it's not an official card, it is correct, so they don't mind. Tools and data are available at census.gov, all sorts of tabs that you can collect. Go in and see anything from jobs to data to anything you like. There's quite a bit in there. And as we get to the next to the last slide here, hopefully everybody will have a nice sunny day, a nice sunny end to this when it concludes next spring, all the way to the end of next year. So that's what that information is there. And you can reach us really just about anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, they're all listed there. And finally, on the last page is the partnership program website, the job website, and the data dissemination website. And referring back to that fraud number that was on the second page as well. So those are the 4 major points. The 5th one to me is when this is completed, you feel pretty good. Hey, it's like voting. You send the information, I'm being counted, I'm counted towards my community, and that gives you a good feeling toward the end. So hopefully you'll be able to be a CCC and work with us. Any information you need, I'd be happy to supply that, or you can go on and get your specific information that would fit into your calendar, your newsletter, or whatever. That's about it. So, any questions, sir? You look quizzical.
No,
Okay, just checking.
that was a very efficient presentation.
That's about it.
Very good.
And you may keep the information. If you just want to keep 1 or 2, and I'll take the others back. It's up to you, and we'll go from there. Again, my job is to go around and talk to folks. We have recruiting information coming up next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, and Friday. Thursday will be over at the Hill Library in Stratford, and Friday is Farmington for recruiting. So there's always something going on.
Very good.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do we want to just keep a couple?
Yeah.
I wrote on mine.
He can have mine back.
Well, I'll just reuse them and give them, you know. some-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
plenty of paperwork stacking up at home.
I made
I do
Well,
have
yeah.
it electronically.
I have to print just about everything that's inside, so this is just.
I made notes on
Yeah,
it.
please save everybody your life, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, you want my list to come over and see,
All right.
and that way you've got a
Those
hard
are
copy of
just
those over here. Any questions?
Non-public ones when you're ready to go.
Yep, okay.
Anyway.
So we're on old business.
Hey, Bruce.
The white car,
Oh, yeah, you want to do the tax rate.
What about budget? You have- Am I tabling that?
Yeah, I printed out a thing, I sent it out to you folks this morning, so. Yeah.
Last week at the enforcement, we had the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I like that.
Law enforcement, fire, EMTs, came over, health service.
Yeah, I like the old one better.
Alright, so we'll move on to old business. On the agenda, we have budget progression discussion. That's gonna be tabled as for tonight. One thing that isn't on here, that we need to discuss is the tax rate.
Right. Okay, so on,
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so, last Wednesday, you know, as you know, Department of Revenue Administration, after we get all the data in, after the school had its special meeting and everything, we worked to try to get a tax rate, and, what I had done, because the way DRA does it, is basically the question they ask is, you know, are your revenues accurate, and do you want to use any fund balance toward it? And what I had done is send out several, you know, scenarios to the board, and just to get a consensus on where people wanted to go, and what you had decided on as a group was to use $225,000 of fund balance toward it. So what you ended up with a tax rate at this point is 23.56, and the components of that, the municipal tax rate 689, county is 239, the local education is $12.41, and the state education is $1.87, to total $23.56, and that is essentially it. And I don't know if you wanted to take a vote to ratify that, or if you were fine. I mean, it's been said at this point.
Any discussion from the board? Just take an official vote to ratify it.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's what it is, so
Yeah, so again, that tax rate ends up being $23.56 per thousand. All right. Other business that may become before the board. I just got one thing that I was asked to announce, is that the cemetery is officially closed for this year. Ernie, do you have anything else under that?
I do not.
All right. Rest of the board, anything else? So I'll move on to approval of minutes. Get the November 18th, 2019 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
we can have that too.
Great, thank you.
All right, next up, public comment pertaining to topics discussed. Any public comment?
I will just remind everyone that Brunch with Santa is this Saturday. There will also be a gingerbread house contest that same day. And I believe Karen also has a
Excuse me.
wild animal. I don't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, you're on the rec commission.
I
My
am.
colleague is.
I can't think of the name of it either. My mind's drawing a blank, but
I'm sorry, Willis.
Well, the rec department has a function
going on
Go-
Saturday.
going this Saturday.
Yeah, the 7th. Downstairs in the Emma Ramsey. What time?
And the department heads will be there to help make brunch.
And you
All
can
right.
find more information on the website and on the Recreation Department's Facebook page.
All right.
Sounds like a blast.
Any discussion about expenditure report?
I mean, everything looks pretty good at this point, but I think people are gonna be making some of the expenditures that they've been holding off on at this point. So you'll see some changes in that over the next few weeks, obviously. And I just, I wanted to add, you didn't mention anything, but it's that the tax rate is actually $1.92 drop from the previous tax rate. So it was at $25.48 and it's $23.56 now, just for anybody who doesn't know that. Just
All right. Board all set with the expenditure report?
Yep.
Administrator comments?
not at this point, no?
Selectmen comments?
No, I will mention that I went to that Christmas stroll there in the Mills over the weekend, and it was very nice. So hopefully that can continue. It was fun. So thanks to Chris Penter. He's the one that started it or originated it or whatever. So yeah, it was a good time. So.
And Nicole, give a shout out to Michelle, his wife, who's done a lot with it, and also Nicole, I think it's Hunter, who's done a lot with it. She's done a great
Yeah.
job.
Yep. So.
All right. I don't have anything, so that concludes our public session. I'll make a motion to go into non-public 91A
These guys right here.
A32A to start,
And then you got these two.
and then we'll be
Seconded.
going in to 91A32A, nope, 91A to
C,
C
and then L.
and L.
Yeah, they're
I
usually
get it.
easy.
Okay, they don't quite match up with this. All right.
Right, no, that's
Now I
fine.
screwed that all up.
Good seeing you, Bruce.
Do I stay for any of this?
Yes.
This one or?
I'll get you